Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, word to my brethren in Tokyo, Japan, and speaking of Tokyo, Japan, May 20th, it's been reported by ESPN and a variety of news outlets that former middleweight title holder Hassan N'Dam will be fighting middleweight prospect and former Olympic gold medalist Ryota Murata for the vacant WBA regular middleweight title. Now, I know this gets confusing for boxing fans. It's confusing for me, and I cover boxing. But you guys don't know, Gennady Golovkin, when he fought Daniel Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin is the WBA super middleweight champion, which is, I guess, the better version of their champions, whatever. And then Daniel Jacobs was the regular champion. So Jacobs lost, which means that he no longer holds that status within the WBA sanctioning body. So that means now that it's vacant, and Murata and N'Dam are going to fight for it. But aside from the title, because the title itself, when it comes to the WBA, unless you're the quote-unquote super champion, it really doesn't mean anything. The fight itself is one that interests me because Murata is one of those guys who I've actually never made a YouTube video about. It's my first video about Murata, but I know of him, and I saw him at the convention here in December, and he's a good fighter, man. As far as his amateur pedigree, he's gold medalist, very, very, skilled and very polished as far as his fundamentals go. He's someone that could be a very good champion one day. Do I think he could be a Gennady Golovkin? I don't know, not right now, but he's someone that could definitely be a good champion in the middleweight division. And for me, this is really that first test for him in his career. Every fighter always has that step-up fight because, like my boy Sean Zattel said, or the boxing boy, shout out to Sean, he said, everybody's fought nobody at some point, and that applies to him. So now he has that step-up fight against a guy in N'Dam who has been in there with the likes of David Lemieux and Peter Quillen, and been world champion before, and he's coming off. He's a confident fighter himself. The last fight he had against some guy in France, I think his name is Peter Blanco or something like that. He had a knockout of the year candidate late in 2016. And it was very devastating. So, and N'Dam should be confident coming into this fight. And for Murata, you look at his record now. This is his 13th professional fight, and he's coming in with a record of 12-0 with 9 KOs. This is that first fight for him, and I think for him, when I look at him and I break down the style, the one thing that jumps off the page to me about Murata is his punch placement. A lot of guys. And this is actually why amateur pedigree is important, because if you look at guys who, and this is for the most part, there are some guys who are anomalies who don't need 100 million amateur fights that just are natural talents. And then, like guys like Kell Brook, guys like Naoya Inoue, those guys don't have extensive amateur pedigrees, and those guys fight as well as dudes with extensive amateur pedigrees. But for the most part, it helps to have an amateur background. And Murata has an extensive one, and you look at the way he places his punches, it looks like someone who has been in the amateurs for a while, working on their craft, and he's been in the pros. He's stopped 9 of his 12 opponents relatively. Nobody knows who he is. So this is really for his first fight to prove himself, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does against N'Dam, because it's going to reveal a lot to the boxing world and to the middleweight division about how good this guy is, because he's. Just because he's only had 13 fights, he's still on the older side. He's like 30 years old, 31 years old, something like that. So he's going to have to make a statement, and it's not going to be easy against N'Dam. And I know N'Dam is going to be a game opponent, so I'm excited for it. If he's able to win this fight, it's going to put him in a position to maybe down the road get a Gennady Golovkin fight, or whoever winds up holding the WBA title in the near future, which I think will be Gennady Golovkin, because unless your name is Canelo, I don't really see anybody beating him. Gennady's supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders, so I guess you can't really overlook anybody. But it can put him in a position to maybe one day work his way into a mandatory position and fight a Gennady Golovkin. So we'll see what happens. We know Gennady has a ton of mandatories. He's probably going to have to honor real soon. So you'll probably see after his next fight of Billy Joe or Canelo or whoever, you'll see him fight the likes of like Toriano Johnson, whoever wins this fight, guys like that. So that's what it is. But let me know what you guys think. Ryota Murata, May 20th. It'll be happening in Tokyo, Japan. Pretty sure it won't be on like HBO or nothing, but we'll probably get a highlight from somewhere. So I'll break it down once it happens. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the fight? I know a lot of you guys are familiar with Endom because he's fought here in the States against Peter Quillen and Dave Lemieux and guys that we know of. Murata may not be as known to some of you guys because he's not really been in the States. But if you really are a hardcore boxing fan, you know you've been knowing about Murata and you know about his 2012 gold medal and his amateur pedigree and how he's been doing pretty well in the pros so far. Looks like he looks the part. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Ding. So until next time, take care, guys.